Every morning, the alarm goes off around 4:30. I go over the news, look at the weather. Weather's a very important part of my life. So I usually get out the door by 6 o'clock, 6:15. So I'm at the farm by 7. It takes about 45 minutes to get there.
I didn't need to. I'm giving you more directions.
Well, go down and get the radishes, bring them up here, put them on a pallet, wrap them in plastic, and then their driver John will take them away and give it to the people. So I first got into farming in around 2010, around 2015-16. I started to really actively look for farmland. And I remember driving down the road on 969, and there's this one patch of road that's like kind of a straightaway right in Bastrop County. And I remember being on that road and thinking, like, one day this will be me driving to my own farm. And yeah, I had no idea that that would literally come true, because it would be the exact same spot I was driving that day. Yeah, it's pretty incredible. All good? Handle on the weeds, which means a handle on the bugs, which means we can rest easy over the winter. Got cabbages, red and green, that are already kind of starting to form tiny heads. It's nice to see everything take shape, you know? One day sucks and the next day you don't even know, you know? So a new day arises. It's been difficult in COVID because a lot of those supply chains got disrupted, and there was nothing in place to pivot to looking at our local and regional food communities. There's a statistic just in Austin in general that 1% of the food consumed in Austin is produced locally. And when you think about how many people live just in the Central Texas region, like, that's absurd.
To bring that consciousness to where your food comes from, it's important, especially in a time like this, you know, and being able to provide it to, you know, whether it's people who don't have easy access to it, you know, maybe unfortunate people like that, that's huge. That's kind of what it's about. I absolutely enjoy it. We're growing really good stuff.
I mean, it's wonderful because all we have to do is grow the food, and then Common Market is the one who gets it to, you know, school districts and kids and those in need.
I did not know this Common Market.
Expanding, and they chose Texas as the next spot, which is actually huge. I remember when Evan and I learned that they were coming, we were stoked because there's just not that many bigger buyers that work with smaller scale growers in Central Texas, and to have a company that already had figured things out in other cities and made it work over there to come down here really meant a lot to us.
I told him we started doing our farm fresh boxes that we do, and that was something that we never really got off the ground in Houston, but since the pandemic hit, it's exploded. I was at Austin Independent School District this morning, and I went to 6 different schools, and I delivered a total of 450 of our farm fresh produce boxes, which each one is 10 pounds a piece with a variety of vegetables in there, and it changes every week as far as what goes into the box. And I've been with the Common Market since they started back in May of 2018. I'm not going anywhere because I love it here. I probably have about 6 years before I retire, but this is where I'm going to retire. It's how I feel so good about what they do.
Knowing that Common Market has a history of serving institutions like school districts and hospitals and things like that, it was so exciting to realize, like, okay, like now there may be actually a way for me to get food into school districts without the farmer himself or herself having to kind of like figure that all out. Some hopes for the future are, my hope is that 1%, grows a little, grows maybe to, we're not asking for much. Like, what if 5% of the food consumed in Austin came from the local area? That would be huge. And not only could we boost the economy here in Texas, you would really boost and provide just for the people living in the state as well. I go home at the end of the day and I'm feeling down because maybe the tractor broke or some header busted or something just went wrong. I do try and remember that you just got to keep pushing forward, and there is such opportunity here, and I hope that people see that and they kind of are willing to actually listen to growers and the needs of the community and really think about how we can set our communities up in ways to serve everyone. So.